Hello, I'm Karen, the Weekend Craftaholic, and today I wanted to talk about Inktober. Now, this isn't just for artists. It can be quite intimidating if you look at it online. Something I came across on YouTube, but I think it would be great for anyone with craft supplies. So today I want to talk you through the supplies I'll be using and the plan that I'm going to do for Inktober. So this is my very first year. I've done a little bit of research. I just wanted to share some of that with you. But first of all, what is Inktober? So this was created by Jake Parker, started in 2009, and there's lots of hashtags. He's got a great website as well with lots of information, and of course there's lots of YouTube videos, so please check it out. So basically it was an idea that he came up with to try and encourage people just to practice, master their skills, just start using ink again. And to enable people to do that, every year he comes up with a prompt list. So you can see here, this is the official list for 2018. Now again, pretty overwhelming when you look at some of the prompts, but don't worry, you don't have to follow this. This is just to stop you feeling like you've got to think of something and stem that creative flow. So there's a few rules to follow. I've taken this snippet from his website and I absolutely love this challenge. Usually I'm intimidated by having to do something every single day, but you can see on the notes here, you don't have to do it every day. You can do it every other day, you can do it once a week, whatever suits you, as long as you're actually putting the effort in and doing some practice and improving your skills with ink. So I'm not sure whether I'll be uploading and hashtagging my efforts because, as I said, I'm not an artist, but I am going to use this opportunity to use some of my supplies and hopefully improve some of my skills. So I'm going to actually hole punch this when I've finished and put it in my craft planner. So my plan is to just use A5 size paper. So that's going to be my front page. Now this is my personal prompt list. You can see I've already started a few of these, but because I just want to use my supplies and you buy these things, use them once and put them away, I'm actually going to do some very, very basic stuff. Like I said, I'm not an artist and I don't pretend to be. One of the things I really want to try and master is brush script and improve my handwriting. So that's my plan. So this is my very first one that I did, just to show you a few examples. This is me doodling, and that was on the 2nd of October, I started doing brush script. And again, my plan is hopefully, you'll see that it repeats quite a few times on the prompt list. Hopefully by the time I get to the end of it, my lettering skills will have improved. So this is, probably can't believe it, but that's meant to be a dandelion and obviously a rose, and that was what I did on the 3rd of October. And again, this was more doodles, just drawing different leaf patterns. Not really looking to be a creative drawer as such, so let's have a look at some of the supplies I'm going to use. So this was a very cheap book I just got here from Officeworks in Australia. It's just a few dollars. Purposely chose A5 because that's the size of my planner, but this paper's nice and thick. I don't think it's going to bleed through, and the plan is just to trim it at the top with my paper trimmer. Just to get rid of that rough edge. I'm also going to use some watercolour paper. This one's from Ranger. I really like this one because it's double-sided. One side is smooth and the other side is textured. It's really hard to find nice smooth watercolour paper, and it's not something that I've used very much, but it's definitely something I want to get into. Always looks very easy when you see other people do it, but practice makes perfect. So that's my goal and my aim throughout October. The other type of paper I'm going to use is this expressive blending card. I've got heaps and heaps of distress pens and more recently the distress inks. This paper, I wish you could feel it, it's so smooth and soft. It's going to be great for blending techniques, and I'm going to use some stencils as well just to help me get that ombre effect going, and that will be really useful in my card making. Alright, so that's the paper I'm going to use. Just very quickly, these are just the alpha stamps set, the railway alpha set stamp from Kelly Stamps that I'm using for my numbering, and that was just, I don't know, just a little circle that was on a very old stamp set, and that's the ink I'm going to go with. Now that was a pigment ink, so is this. I've also got some dye inks, a lot of these Memento dye inks, so I want to try practicing with those as well, get a bit more use out of them. And then the other thing I've got here is these chalk inks. Now I think I bought these by mistake actually, these Versa Magic ones. Don't like the effect at all from a stamping perspective, but I'm going to see what I can do to make use of these. I love the colours and I think it'll be a great opportunity just to get a bit more use out of them rather than sitting in the drawer. So as I mentioned, distress inks, these are just some of the little ones that I have. I'm not going to get every single colour out and show you. Similar with the pens, I've just got far too many of these, and I do find that they dry up over time as well. So you can see these are double-ended. I love the brush again side of it, but you can see for some reason the that end tends to dry up, and I do store them horizontal. Now these watercolour pencils, you had them for ages, never used them, so again this challenge is going to be a great way for me to make use of them, I think. So I'm just demonstrating here. If you've not heard of watercolour pencils, you just use them as a normal pencil, but then when you apply water over, they do change into that watercolour effect. Now I have been looking and seeing upon a lot of these things, and obviously I've got cheapo versions because the pigment just gets lost when you apply water, so I'm going to have to be very careful I don't apply too much, which I did with that first pink but didn't on the purple. So again, techniques everything with this. Now I'm just using here an aqua brush pen. I can't remember where I got it from, maybe eBay or Wish or whatever, and this again is something, the practicing brush script you saw before, I'd used that, and again would like to get more practice out of it. This is some ink I bought. I looked everywhere for Indian ink yesterday, couldn't find any in Spotlight or Officeworks or Riot, so I just had to buy a cheapo version, which I did fill my other brush script pen with. And as you can see, not impressed at all with the quality of the ink. It's almost quite a greeny colour, you probably can't see it here. But I did get a really good tip off one YouTube video, because I was going to buy different pens, but then because all the blacks have got a slightly different colour, if you're going to decide to use ink to fill in, which you can see I'm doing here, you've got to be very careful it matches, so you can see the just how easy it is to apply that extra colour and impact with the brush scripts. Now the other thing I really want to do in terms of using ink, what I'm showing you here is some metallics. I've had these again for ages, probably used them once on invitations or whatever, and then they've sat in the cupboard ever since. So I think this will be a great opportunity for me just to practice and play around with some of these. I don't know if you can see the effect too much on there, but they are quite nice. So I want to try and use those up. So all of these I'm going to leave on my desk for October. These Staedtler pens, I've got heaps of these, and these are definitely my favourite. I love the fine line. I feel like my writing's a little bit neater when I use these, although my writing is not neat by any means. But I do enjoy writing with them. They've got a nice flow to them. So I'm going to be trying to use some of those in the challenge as well. The other ones that I've picked out, oh there you go, pencil. I don't know if you noticed on the instructions, he talks about you can use a pencil before you go over with ink. Again, love it because it takes the pressure off, and you know, it's not cheating. You're not cheating yourself, you're just practicing. This is a calligraphy pen. I think I've got 5 of these all up that I want to, again, for my lettering skills would be good. And then the Faber-Castell. I love these. These are definitely my favourite, but they are so expensive, so I've got to treat myself every now and again to build up my stash of those, but I'll definitely be making use of those. This Pentel is an old fountain pen. I love it. It's the only one I feel like I really like my writing when I use that, but again it's quite an old one and it's running out of ink, but for my Inktober I'll definitely be making use of it. And then the very last one here is this Crayola Super Tips. Now I've come across this as I've been watching people's lettering YouTubes. A lot of people are recommending them. They are very cheap. They cost me $10 for 12, but they do have a really nice effect, so I'll definitely make use of those. And then this white pen, I've again had this a long time. I saw it on Jennifer Maguire's YouTube. I use it mainly for writing on photographs in my project life, but again, in terms of inking, it's good to just to apply over ink, as you can see here as well, for a different effect and some definition on some of the pictures. So I'll definitely be making use of that one. So that's my little video. I hope you liked it. I hope it was informative. I hope I've inspired you to have a go, even if you're not artistic like me, and just have fun with it. So thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And if you'd like to see more, please subscribe and like. Thank you for your time.